Kill the enemy team to score.
If fans and butts were candy and nuts, oh what a Merry Christmas it would be. A colloquial expression that I'm sure will bring a chuckle to many. However, since 343's Halo 5 Gamescom presentation, I've seen more if fans and buts pop up in the Halo community than ever before. Two of these if and but statements that stand out are that if 343 keeps focusing on competitive and arena play for their eSports, they're going to alienate more casual fans and Halo 5 won't live up to expectations. Another is that we are being offered more modes than ever before with Arena, Warzone, and BTB, but this is going to cause the population to be segregated and Halo 5 to feel as if it's being shipped as two entirely different games. After having a significant amount of time to mull over these statements, I don't find myself overly concerned with either or Halo 5's future in general. To the point of Warzone, 343 is providing us with another game mode to experience the sandbox of Halo. You can view Warzone through the lens of 343 attempting to separate the casual and competitive arena play from one another, or you can view it through the lens of simply adding another tool to Halo Sandbox. We already have Forge, Arena, and BTB. I simply don't understand how the inclusion of Warzone could segregate the population. If anything, in my viewpoint, I look forward to Warzone possibly even creating their own community to which they can add another layer to Halo's depth. I would love to see videos covering strategies for Warzone, the best way to increase your requisition pack score quicker, and maneuvering around the larger maps. The idea of a new mode spawning a new community within the Halo community at large is not a foreign idea. We've seen it happen with Forge, in which these community members focus very little on arena gameplay or Halo gameplay in general. They simply love map editing and map creation and want to share it with everyone else. I don't understand why this couldn't happen with a Warzone community. Personally, I would love to see a community spawn through Warzone that shows you boss timers, the best way to take down these bosses, and even new and exciting ways to push into the opposing team's power core to end the match. This, in my opinion, would be a great breath of fresh air in the Halo franchise, and it's something that's desperately needed. While I believe that Warzone can bring in new faces to the Halo community, and possibly even create its own sub-community, I don't see 343's focus on competitive arena play and esports as a hindrance or an alienation toward the casual fanbase. If anything, I see it as a way to draw in more popularity to bring in more casual and competitive players both. In response to the argument that 343 is focusing too much on the competitive aspect of Halo, I simply say look to history. Halo 3 was at the height of Halo's popularity, and over 1 million people were online playing at any given time. Now granted, we had ranked and social splits, and you know that all 1 million players were not simply playing the ranked competitive playlists, they were also spending time on more social playlists. So this brings me to my main point and argument. You can make a game that is competitive play casual, but you cannot make a casual game play more competitively. We've seen this with Halo 3, Halo 2, any of the Halos, with the exception of Halo 4. So just for example, like I said, Halo 3, it was at its core a competitive arena shooter. But you could also go into Team Action Sack or Big Team Battle or any of the social playlists and play more casually without such a competitive mindset of calling out and trying to win the match. You can go in and relax and play more custom types of games. And that leads me into my next point. And that is that the inherent satisfaction throughout the original Halos was increasing your skill. Increasing your individual skill and widening the skill gap between you and others in a competitive environment. Now, there was no greater satisfaction for me, at least, than learning a button glitch in Halo 2, or mastering the slower, more methodical movement in Halo 3, and then leading your shots of the projectile system BR. And this, I think, is where 343 is really succeeding on the competitive front. They're marketing Halo 5 as a game where you can bring your own individual skill into the battlefield and mesh well with a team of others that have individual skill to complement yours. They're doing nothing wrong in that aspect in my mind, and this is only accentuated further with their esports. Halo's popularity, just from a casual player's standpoint, is going to be based on what I feel two things, and that is the inherent satisfaction and fun that you get from the game, and its popularity in the video game world. We live in a different era now, in that games need to try to be more competitive to broaden their fan base. Look at League of Legends and Dota. They have built their games as competitive MOBAs, and because of that, they bring in a larger fan base. During the Halo 2 and Halo 3 days, there were, as I said, a massive amount of players playing, and I believe this is because they saw what was going on at the highest competitive level of Halo and wanted to emulate that. Now that's not saying these players didn't also have a casual side as well. There are times when even pros like to play the more fun custom games and don't want to go into a game and be mentally engaged and call out, and that's not even beginning on the normal player level. I'm sure there are times when we all come home from work or school and do not want to mentally engage in a game and would rather be on autopilot mode and simply goof off and have fun. However, we now live in an era in the video game industry in which the first-person shooter market is extremely saturated and competitive. Not only does your game have to have competitive value and merit, it also has to have a long lifespan and a large population to support that long lifespan. I believe 343 is addressing these issues by marketing the HCS and the partners with the ESL and MLG and the big prize payouts in their tournaments to bring the excitement back for Halo that we all used to feel on the Halo 2 and 3 days. Twitch has changed the video game industry, especially from the competitive side of games. Now we can see competitive players in their home environments streaming and getting better, as well as in the tournament aspect. And doing this, I believe casual players will be able to see the competitive crowd playing the game and not only want to try it themselves, but also jump in and experience the fun Halo has in the more casual modes. To bring the discussion full circle, I saw a comment that said that Halo 5 seems to be more designed to be watched than played by the masses. I don't think this is the case. I think Halo 5 is designed to be watched at a very competitive level, and then for all Spartans watching to go and try to improve their individual skill and become a part of the Halo community as a whole. So with that, I'll leave you with my own if and but statement. If Halo 5 can succeed and bring casual and competitive players to the forefront and deliver an awesome Halo experience, then we're going to be back. This has been Mamba. I'll see you next time.